Welcome to After the Checkered Flag. Leigh, Diffey and five-time champion Ricky Carmichael here with you at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. What a night for round 3 of Monster Energy Supercross. Let's start with the 250s because it was an amazing start by both Geico Honda riders, Christian Craig and the teenage sensation Jet Lawrence. And then after that, it kind of, whatever happened, there was no predicting it because it was wild.
It was a really wild night. I hadn't seen one like this in a long time, and I love nights like this. And you know, you think about Jet Lawrence, so what a heartbreak situation that was. And I've never seen a guy ride his front wheel like that. Like you said, the bike control that he had was incredible. But, man, he was on his way just a quarter of a lap short of getting his first win. And it to go down with a broken collarbone, that was really a shame. But that guy's going to have a bright future ahead of him.
So his teammate Christian Craig got the whole shot and led early.
He did.
And then there was a pretty kind of vicious, you know, coming together between Dylan Ferrandis and him. What was your take on that incident? Because it did go under review for a moment, and then immediately after the checkered flag, we got information that there was no longer under review. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I don't think it was full-on blatant what he did. I mean, obviously Dylan wanted to push Christian out, but I don't think that Dylan understood that when Christian went out wide at the corner after the finish line, I don't think that he understood or realized how narrow it got coming out of that corner, and just two guys came together. Because one thing you got to understand, I think Dylan, his race IQ and his intelligence for riding the motorcycle is pretty high, that he's not going to put himself in a position to where he's going to jeopardize him going down. You never want to do that as a racer, and I most certainly don't think that Dylan Ferrandis would do that. That's my opinion. I think that he just kind of miscalculated how narrow it got there. Because it could have been just as bad for Dylan as it was for Christian. But Christian been riding so well this year, and just unfortunate circumstances all season long pretty much.
So 3 different winners from the first 3 rounds of the 2020 Monster Energy Supercross season, which is really good, highly entertaining. Valuable points night. We'll put a period here on 250s. Valuable points night for Justin Cooper.
Yeah, he was really the guy in the catbird seat tonight, just really taking advantage of everyone else's misfortune. And sometimes that's what you got to do. We didn't really talk about him at all in the main event. And then you look at the points list after the race, and he's extended the points lead. He got a little help from a lot of people today, especially the number 52. And I don't expect, Austin Forkner in the position that he's in for as long as he's been racing this 250 class, and not a lot, but as good of a rider as he is, to make those kind of mistakes. We saw him do it in practice at Anaheim 1. We saw him almost do the same thing today in practice, and then it got the best of him in the main event. Now he's 22 points down and just continuing to make the same mistakes over and over.
A lot of catching up to do. Let's shift gears and let's go to the 450 class. Ken Roczen got an amazing hole shot and took off, and it was like, all right, here we go. It's going to be back-to-back wins, St. Louis and here at Anaheim too. However, there was a rider who was in 10th place at the end of lap 1 who just came charging through the field by the name of Eli Tomac. That was an incredible ride.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to experience that, Leigh, because those are the rides when we just kind of sit back and watch, and you're like, how in the world can he ride that motorcycle that fast, come through the pack? I mean, he blew by these guys coming through to get to first place, and Ken was out there, and you could just see it. We could see it up here in the booth watching it. The guy was riding at an incredible pace, and he even said it, he was feeling the flow. And you wonder, like, what could he do? If I'm Eli Tomac, I'm thinking, what can I do to ride like that every single weekend? Because if he can do that, I mean, no one would be able to touch him. He'd be able to win every race. So that's what makes it tough for me when I'm watching. I'm like, okay, which guy are we going to see? But I love watching that performance that he did tonight. And hey, kudos to Ken Roczen. Did what he needed to do. P2. Takes the red plate going into Glendale. And I think with Ken Roczen getting that win last week, I believe that, we're going to see more wins from him.
And he said he just wants to be there all the time, just nipping at the heels or winning or picking up wherever he can. Points leader coming into this round, Justin Barcia did not really have a night that he would have been satisfied with, but picked up points, and he's still up there in the top 3 in points. Speaking of top 3, second podium this year for the reigning series champion Cooper Webb, who says, I feel better now, and I hunted Roczen down, and should this be ominous for his opponents?
Yeah, they better watch him, because he knows how to manage a championship. They all know that. And you can bet that they got their eye on him. Why wouldn't he? He is the defending champ. He's won multiple 250 championships. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot of him. Now, what saved him is that they were starting to jump through the whoops in the main event and instead of blitzing him, because he still needs to work on the whoops a little bit, Cooper does. And that's where he was losing a lot in the heat race, especially to Eli Tomac. So I expect to see a lot more. I think the ball's going to get rolling, and he just puts himself in the right positions like he did tonight. He didn't lose his composure at the beginning. Guys were passing him, and he really wasn't charging too hard, but he was there at the end when he needed to be.
Really good run from Zach Osborne as well to finish inside the top 5. So next week, Glendale, Arizona, first of the Triple Crowns for 2020. I know you're looking forward to that.
I love it. I love Triple Crowns. I mean, every time these guys get on the line for the Triple Crown, it's fun for me because all the guys can go fast for 10 laps, and there's strategy involved. You know, you have to be there every main event because it goes towards your total score at the end of the night and the overall, and a lot of points on the line.
You can see that live at 10 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Gold Supercross Pass. You'll see it at 2 p.m. Eastern the following day on NBCSN. Enjoy.